Welcome once again to the Friday Beer Break. I am joined by Mr. Christopher Schreier from the TorontoBeerBlog.com.
Hey guys, what's up?
What do we got today?
Oh, we got a doozy today.
It's a doozy!
I actually haven't even had this yet. This is going to be brand new to me.
Wow, we're taking your cherry on something.
I've never done this before, but it's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, this is Bellwoods Brewery. If you haven't heard of Bellwoods, you haven't been listening.
Yeah, because you really like these guys.
I love these guys.
Even though they're hipsters. Are they really hipsters, or are they just in a hipstery area?
They're in a hipster area. They're hipper than I am.
Well, they're hipper than us, but that doesn't take much.
Come on, guy like that's hanging out here. Bar's over.
Anyway, this is their Farmageddon barrel-aged saison.
I love saisons.
So we got this. This is they call it Farmhouse Classic Saison, and then they've aged it in a Brett-infected barrel. So Brettanomyces is a wild bacteria, and it will eat excess sugar in the beer, creating more pronounced dryness, and it also puts off esters and stuff.
So how often do they use different types of bacteria in beer? Or does every type of beer use a different type of bacteria?
Let me open this while we talk about that. The main thing that most brewers are trying to do is keep bacteria out of their beer. They're trying to prevent, oh, look, it's got a little surge. That's good news. This happens sometimes with barrel and...
I get beer flavored with your hand.
Well, I didn't stick my hand in the bottle.
I'm just saying.
I now have a beer-flavored hand would be the more appropriate way of...
Well, I'm not happy about it.
They try and limit the bacteria to one, namely the yeast, which isn't really a bacteria, but anyway. But more and more now people will use other bacteria.
But do different bacteria do different things to the beer?
Yeah, and in fact, in a wild barrel like this, there's more than one. So the Brett's the main one, but there will be other off bacteria working at the beer. When you make a lager, you're going to use a lager yeast, and you don't want any other bacteria in there. You just want the yeast to do its job. When you take a beer like a saison, that again, one yeast, it was a saison yeast, but then you add it into a barrel to let it spend a couple of months with this other bacteria. The other bacteria is going to have a secondary effect on the beer and change the way that it tastes.
All right. So we're learning about chemistry and beer.
Yes, science!
And this smells amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Like just this, that's how beer should all smell. Like that is fantastic.
You got spices, there's some lemon or maybe some orange, like definite citrus.
Yeah, there's a lot of citrus in there.
So good.
That is so light. You know how when you drink champagne feels light?
It's got a champagniness to it.
There's a definite champagniness to this. Oh.
The Brett influence, it's not as funky as I was expecting it to be. Brett will impart, sometimes people say like a barnyardy kind of thing, right up to like saddle blankety, which is like musky, musty.
I've had those.
Yeah, and I mean, they have their place, but this isn't that at all. The Brett's there, but it's just dried it out quite a bit.
This is the second best saison I've ever had. The saison, of course, I'm talking about number one, Allison Breer.
Fred made a saison one time. If you haven't been watching these videos long,
there was amazing raspberry saison made with Sawdust City. Allison Brie from Community and Mad Men was tweeting about it.
It was a big deal.
Oh, it was a great day.
Why don't you and I go celebrate someplace private and boozy?
Saisons were Belgian-style beers. They were generally made in the colder, like late winter, early spring months into the spring, when it was still cool enough to brew. When it's too hot and you don't have mechanical refrigeration, you couldn't make beer because the beer would get screwed up before you were able to put the yeast in it. So they would make beer. Farmers would make beer just for their farmstead and would keep it for the summer to give to themselves, their family, their workers, etc. So the style is in that. Historically, these beers would taste all over the map, depending on what the farmer felt like doing.
This is my farm. I'll die here.
Now, saisons generally have wheat, and you can see, I mean, it's kind of hazy. It's unfiltered. Often there will be rye in there as well. And then, yeah, they use a very specific yeast that gives it some spicy notes, often some fruitiness. And then, yeah, with the barrel, the Brett influence is just a whole nother kind of layer to that.
Layers!
When people think about barrel-aged beers, what they immediately go to is like bourbon barrel-aged stouts. So you get these stouts that have like vanilla and bourbon and oaky smokiness and stuff like that. You don't get any of that.
No, you don't get any of that.
The nature of the barrel's unimportant at this point because the barrel's been used enough that the character of the barrel, the flavors that were in it, have now been taken out by other beers. But what's important is the wood has this bacteria living in it, and they keep the bacteria alive by keeping putting beer into it. And so the real impact of this barrel is that it's in this vessel that isn't airtight, that has this bacteria in it, and allows the bacteria to chew through a bit more of the sugar and change some of the esters, some of the chemicals, dry it out, add a bit more spice, a little bit more funk.
Do you want more funk?
No fun.
And I mean, this is amazing. So this is at their bottle shop right now. Bellwoods is on Ossington, very hip neighborhood.
Yeah.
What you're going to do is you're going to get on your fixie.
Fixed gear bikes are over. Hey man, take it. It's free. Enjoy it, because they're over.
And you're going to put on your thickest rimmed glasses and pedal on up there.
I think I'm going to blog about this place.
And then afterwards, go to your ultimate Frisbee team practice.
Right.
And then sit around and talk about why you hate Rob Ford a bunch.
Do you smoke crack and are you a crack addict? No, I don't smoke crack and I'm not a crack addict. Have I? Yes, I have.
Do hipsters like yo-yos? They should like yo-yos.
They really should. I don't think they do.
I
would
love yo-yos.
If you're a hipster and you're watching this, that's your thing.
Make yo-yos cool again.
That's over. That's over.
Over! Everything's over!
Bellwoods Brewery, Farmageddon, thank you. It's delicious.
This is amazing beer, guys.